Back to the Winkle guy for a second. I thought they were hilarious. They were like they provided most of the humor in the movie. I love the line where he said, like, "I'm a rower. I'm 6'4", and there's two of me."
Yeah,
that's a good line. Yeah,
and there's one guy played by one.
Yeah, played by one actor.
And a guy named Josh Pence did the body doubling.
Yeah. How do you know these things?
Because I pay attention.
Who's Josh Pence?
So far,
like, is he notable for any reason?
No.
You just want to name drop.
Yeah.
All right, fine.
How wrong is that?
Maybe Greg's helping out Josh Pence.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You know what? That's
Who
fine.
Who knows? These things get an average of 30 hits on YouTube, so Josh Pence, you're welcome.
Probably not just our friends.
Yeah, I hope
probably like 2 or 3.
Yeah, maybe
we'll include him in the tags.
Yeah, I mean, if Beauchesne can get Carl Wolf to
view his
video
and write him a letter.
Why can't we get Josh Pence to watch ours? Anyway.
Or Carl Wolf to watch ours.
Yeah, for that matter. Yeah.
I loved Carl Wolf's music in this film.
Trent Reznor, by the way.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Score.
In seriousness, I did love the Trent Reznor score.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of his experimental stuff. And I might not be the biggest Nine Inch Nails fan, but I do love the instrumentation that he uses in almost every song. Especially the original version of Hurt, where it's all industrial and it sounds like he's singing in a freaking aircraft carrier hangar with a bandsaw. It's just really neat to me. And he brings a lot of those sensibilities over to the Social Network score. And also Atticus Ross, who I had never actually heard of until this point, also contributed to the score, so we can't forget about him.
I never heard of him until just now.
Oh, well, there's me name-dropping again. You guys gonna just jump all over that?
We'll save it for later.
All right, thank you. So I had an interesting story I wanted to share with. I watched this movie twice in theaters. Once in my hometown in Cochrane, and once here in Lethbridge. And when I saw it in Cochrane, the reels of film were spliced out of order.
When you saw it in Cochrane?
When I saw it in Cochrane. So it's a 2-hour movie, so it comes on about 4 reels of film, right? Ish. And we'll say it if for argument's sake, 4 reels of film, maybe 5. And so reels 2 and 3 were switched.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it happened as soon as the Winklevoss twins walked into the president's office, the president of Harvard's office. It cut to Justin Timberlake and Jesse Eisenberg having a conversation in a club. And then, about 20 minutes later, cuts back to the president's office. And I just thought
then you meet Sean Parker.
And then you meet Sean Parker for the first time, and then it goes to Eduardo's side of the story and shit. And I'm like, I already saw this. I saw what happens, right? I already saw what happens. Yeah. So when I saw it in Lethbridge, I lean over to my girlfriend and I'm like, am I insane, or did we see a different movie? I felt like I saw a different movie. Anyway, that's my crazy little social network watching story, and I hope they've changed it at the old Cochrane Movie House.
So, I have a question then. You didn't think anything was
I didn't
out of
think
place when you saw it the first
anything
time?
was wrong.
It's interesting because this is the kind of.
It did actually. Okay. I was like, this is weird. This is a little weird, but I was like, maybe this is just the way they edited it because
the
flashbacks. And
stuff,
the
movie itself is out of time. So.
Yeah, it's told in flashback. So I was like, maybe they're messing with the chronology. Whatever, movies do that. And no, I didn't I didn't question it until I didn't seriously question it until I saw it a second time. So yeah, that's anyway. What are your notes?
Interesting. A lot of there's some critics who have really jumped on this film as being sexist. That the female characters are both really weak and really just shrill and bitchy and slutty, and they only sort of exist to service the main characters. They're just like prizes. They're more glory. And I was wondering, first of all, whether you think the movie is sexist, I'm kind of expecting you to say no, but that maybe it's populated with sexists. And if that's the case, do you think there should have been like a better female perspective in the movie, or is it okay to just sort of cut a female perspective from the film in service of this story?
I don't think it would have enhanced the story at all.
To give maybe a more perspective on Rooney Mara or something like that?
Well, no. No, because when it comes down to it, this is the story about the founders of Facebook. When it comes right down to it, it's about Mark Zuckerberg and Eduardo and Sean Parker.
True, but I think that, I mean, there's something that you said about the fact that the movie is pretty much bookended by his relationship with this girl. It
is, and it's also, but it's also bookended by his relationship with this girl, which is he's always running up against this brick wall that is himself, right? It's Mark Zuckerberg's story, and the way that women are presented in the movie is very much the way Mark Zuckerberg, the character, sees them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? In many cases, he doesn't even see them as a prize to be won. He just doesn't care. He doesn't care about anything but being important, but his ambition, right?
Yeah.
And everything else just falls to the wayside and gets left behind. He will do whatever it takes.
But there is that scene where he goes and tries to talk to her, after he's already kind of blown up and everyone's like, oh, you're the creator of Facebook, and like everyone's really excited about him. Mm-hmm. And he basically, he specifically goes up to her to see what her reaction is to this whole thing. And then when she basically blows him off and he realizes she doesn't give a shit about that, he kind of gets sullen about that for, very briefly, because that's his character. But I think that there is something about that whole relationship with Erica, and how, the whole driving force of the site at first was because she dumped him, and then the end of the movie is him basically just, like obsessively compulsively refreshing the page to see if she accepted his friend request. I don't
deny that, like, that she's an important role, but I think she's the most important female role in that movie, right? And I kind of wish that we had more screen time with her, but then again, the way she's presented in the first scene, that she's in, which is, as we've discussed, an amazing scene, she is strong, she's intelligent, she's educated, and she's independent. She dumps him, right? And the next scene that she's presented in, when he tries to apologize, well, I think that's what he was trying to do, trying to gauge her reaction, she sees this chance to, like, she must have seen this chance, like, she knows that he's going to be a big thing, right? And she knows all she would have to do to, like, be set for life is say, I'll take you back. She doesn't. She's a very strong, independent character, and at the end, I doubt she accepted his friend request. Right? I think she's an extremely strong female presence in that movie with only 2 live scenes and 1 scene at the end, which is not even, where she's not even in it. It's just her picture, and it does more than anything.
I guess so. I don't know if I'd call that her character's presence in the rest of the movie. Maybe in the first scene, but after that, her presence is just a symbol. She's not.
I don't mean her character's presence is felt, but I mean, like, her character has a presence, right? It has a very whenever her character is, like, mentioned or like seen, she's a very strong female presence.
Fair enough. I guess I have a little bit of a problem. I don't think it's a problem intrinsically with the movie. I don't think David Fincher directed a sexist movie. I don't think the writing is sexist or anything like that. But I do have a feeling, just in my pessimism for audiences, that a lot of people will walk away from this thinking like, wow, what a great success story. And, like, I mean, I know that there's the human levels of it, but when it comes down to it, it's like, wow, I want to be a friendless, sexist billionaire.
Who wouldn't, right? No. I felt sad at the end of the movie. I felt really sad. I'm glad that I wasn't him, for one.